Hey, social media, it's Jerry coming to you from the Rythmia Life Advancement Center in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and it is beautiful. It's the start of our rainy season, but it only rains for maybe a half hour a day. Everything is lush and green, and it's beautiful. What is Rythmia? What is this Life Advancement Center? Well, it's a life advancement center that uses ayahuasca, uh, farm to table organic food, breath work, meditation, the Dead Sea cleanse, metaphysical teachings, about 20 hours worth in the week that you're here. And it brings about this amazing, unforgettable, life changing change in your life. How can I say that? Well, 18,500 people have been through the doors at Rythmia. 98.17% say that they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. Better yet, at the 6-month mark, 90.22% say that this was the week that changed their life. Now, because of that, we're the little dot in the map in Latin America, and Central America, and people come from all over the world to this place in huge numbers. Every week we have people from Dubai. At least once a month, someone from Mongolia. Like tons of people from England and France and Italy and Spain. That's normal for us. But we get people from all over, from Iceland, from Mongolia, from places that are just like way out there. They come here, Marrakesh, Casablanca. They come here to have this thing happen. And I mean wild people, people from all walks of life. So on our board of directors, these are people that have come here, experienced this program, and decided to lend their name and their time to this place for free. Who are they? Kelly Slater, the greatest surfer of all time. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. Caesar's going to be here next week at Rythmia. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, founder of the Agape Spiritual Center. Martin Luther King, the son of Martin Luther King, who is a political activist in his own right. Board of Rythmia. Crazy. Ron White, the comedian. I used to watch this guy when I was younger. I never thought he'd be a friend and a board member of Rythmia. By the way, he was just on the Joe Rogan podcast, just raving about this place. Tony Coe, the founder of NYX Cosmetics, and on the Forbes list of 100 richest self-made women in the world. Elanya Van Zant had her show in the Oprah Network for over 10 years. Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup of the Soul. Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, and a political activist in his own right. Mark Kielberger, social entrepreneur, New York Times bestselling author, and biohacker on our board of directors. Earl Kosky, the businessman, the American businessman. Brandy Sabella, the author and TV show host, and my ex-wife. Kim Terranova, Agape spiritual leader, author, and life coach, amazing woman. And Dr. Jeff McNary, who was the director of the Passages, the Malibu Addiction Center, before becoming my partner. Now, all these people are on the board of directors here. We get A-listers from all walks of life. A-lister athletes, A-lister musicians, A-lister actors and actresses, politicians. Everybody comes here, and normal people just like me and you come here and have this amazing experience. And what is this experience? Well, it's an experience of coming back to yourself. a soul merger, a being, a being in tune. For a lot of you, for the first time in your life. For me, it was the first time in my life. And I was a high school dropout who became a millionaire, ended up selling a company for 90 million bucks, but had a horrible life. And this programming and medicine put me back together. And I watch it happen to this year. We will have our 20th, 1000th guest. So this is not something. So what does the medicine teach us? The medicine teaches us that once we are together, once we are in sync, once we're merged, that the next thing that occurs in the high 90s of percentiles is that these people who come through here have this happen, want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. Well, number one, what does that mean? They want to leave Earth and the people whose lives they touch in better shape than when they came to it. That's it. That's what becoming a beneficial presence is. How can you do it? Well, you can do it by becoming a politician. You can do it by becoming a better investment banker. You can do it by becoming a better brother or sister. You can do it by starting a community outreach program. You can do it by opening a restaurant and serving high quality, healthy food. There's a million ways to do it, a million ways. And your way is uniquely yours. Now, what are the characteristics or byproducts or benefits of having done that, having become a beneficial presence on the planet? Well, number one, we get to experience mastery at that particular thing. And a byproduct of mastery is the energetic equivalent in money. That's one of the things. So when you get incredibly great at a particular thing, like Kelly Slater surfs, the byproduct is the energetic equivalent in money. When you get great at making pizzas, like my dear friend Papa John, the byproduct is you get paid, right? That's one of the benefits. It's not the driver. The driver is to become a beneficial presence. The byproduct are these other things. So what is that, and what does that journey look like? Well, number one, it's going to be harder than anything you've ever done. It's going to take longer than you could ever imagine. It's going to stretch you in ways that you can't even comprehend. It is the craziest journey. It's a quest. I'm going to set out on this journey of a lifetime. And that journey is going to become my life. My life. That journey, that moving, sorry, I had something in my mouth there. That moving forward is going to become my life. The trials, tribulations, tests, victories, losses of that journey are going to become the ceremony, which is my life. Wild. How long is it going to take? Longer than you can ever imagine. Figure 10 years for starters. I know two people who are good friends that have had businesses that are worth more than $1 billion. For them, it took 30 years. 30 years. And the funny thing, throughout the whole time, they were struggling and just trying to survive. Just how this is. That's what the journey looks like, right? So if we know this thing is going to take 10 years or more, if we know it's going to be harder than anything we've ever done, if we know we're going to catch all kinds of, number one, the bigger you go, the brighter your light, the more people are going to make up lies and stories about you. And if you're the kind of person that can't take somebody sitting on a couch, drinking alcohol, feeding their face with drugs, creating a huge lie about you, then you shouldn't be bringing light, because the light workers simply don't care. They move past that. So if you know that it's going to be this amazing challenge, then in a re-engineering thing, we get back to our initial choice. We better pick something that's from the most solid place within us when we decide to become this presence. What do I mean by that? Well, if we pick it to impress the neighbor or the girl next door or the guy next door or our mother, or this or that or the other, anything other than an inspiration from a merged place, we're going to quit. And quitting is death. Quitting and starting over again. I want to keep talking about that today. Last week, I talked about grit. Grit, the essential element, the common denominator in all great success stories. Grit. What does grit mean, right? Because we talked about last week, and a lot of people think, well, grit is the act of not quitting. That's true, right? There are a lot of different volumes of not quitting. So I went to school with a kid who used to say to me, hey, half the battle is to just show up. Well, just showing up is not quitting, but it's not a real aggressive form of getting down the road to our beneficial presence, right? So what are the two components of grit? It would be consistency and intensity would be what is at the basis of grit, right? So in other words, not quitting could be a 1 on consistency and a 1 on intensity. But intensity and consistency go up to 10s. What I can assure you is that you want to nail down first consistency. That's number 1. Just showing up in the beginning wins the race, right? Because when we decide that this is how we're going to become a beneficial presence, right? And we pick the thing, and when you pick it from a merge place and you see it finished before it starts, and you go, that's worth trading my life for, you know you're on it. You know you're on it. But when you do these things, the first thing is you make these agreements with yourself. I went over them 3 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago. I'm going to go over them again in the next 2 weeks. I have a book called Truthonomics that lists what those agreements are. But you need to make these agreements with yourself. But when you start out, you just wake up and go. So what do I mean by that? So let's say that my agreements are that I'm going to get up in a particular way. I'm going to have movement in my body in a particular way. I'm going to have a daily practice that includes spiritual mind treatments and prayer, or breath work and prayer, or meditation and prayer, whatever my thing is. And I'm going to put this type of fuel into my body. You have a rule about alcohol. You have a rule about what kind of food you're going to eat, blah, 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 blah. Let's say that's your thing. And it starts out, and let's say your movement is just, I'm going to start by saying 6 days a week, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. That's your start. That gets you on the page, right? Then as you progress, you're going to turn up that intensity. So consistency is set, and then intensity is turned up. You'll probably wind up 3 years down the road working out 4 or 5 days a week, walking an hour a day, that intensity goes up. Well, that's the thing, because I can tell you the person with the most grit wins. So the person with the grit that has the most consistency and the highest intensity wins. One thing I can tell you about all the achievers, they're all defined as intense. As intense. That's the truth. Whether they're, the greatest baseball player of all time, the greatest race car driver of all time, the best Elon Musk, a little bit intense, the best businessman of all time, the best presidents of all time, the best cooks of all time. Everybody that gets this thing and they want to bring their flower to the world in the biggest way has intensity. So start out with consistency and then gradually increase the intensity. Another person I used to know used to say, how do you boil frogs? A degree at a time. Frog gets in the water and it's room temperature, and you boil it a degree hotter all the time. And next thing you know, the frog's in boiling water but doesn't know it. Well, it's the same thing with your intensity. Your intensity is adjusted a little bit at a time as long as your consistency is not dialed back. If you do that, you will win. And I have to tell you, this is a thing from drinking so much plant medicine. This body expires, right? You have X amount of time. That time is going to pass anyway. Quitting feels good in the short term, but it's horrible in the long term. Having consistency and intensity always feels horrible in the beginning, but in the end, it feels great. Because you get to where you want to go. And I want to tell you, the most amazing thing in my job here is I get to meet about 80 people a week that from the age of 18 to 85. And the thing that I hate to see the most is regret. Now, I'm going to tell you something. People that are consistent and that are working with their intensity have very little regret. People that haven't are loaded with regret. So don't be the worst possible emotion that I've seen at Rythmia has been the emotion of regret. Don't let regret get you. How? By doing this today. Come to a place like this. Come here. See this thing. Today is the right day to come. You should come yesterday. Have this thing happen in your life. Then, decide to become a beneficial presence from a merge place and make that your ceremony. The whole rest of your life is taken care of out of a decision to come to a place and have this thing happen to you. That's it for this week. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. And we will see you next week, hopefully at Rythmia.